quality seems quite good as well. Started wearing sketches a lot more myself. I've got to that. I don't think it's I've hit an age group thing. I think it's a case of I've spent that much time walking around in London on public transport between train stations and stuff. And a day in London, I can do up to 26,000 steps, just to put it in perspective. Yeah, one of the last videos, somebody said I was giving the UK a hard time in relation to Oxford being a better place. I was talking from my perspective. Now, most of the places I deal with, the buildings I'm involved with are part of regenerations. So obviously, the areas ain't great. And that was my point. It's very bleak. But it doesn't mean everywhere is bad, because not everywhere is. There's another well, look at that, I did 2 without dropping my phone. There's the Mississippi, whatever it's called now. Was the Queen Mississippi. So you can see the top deck there. I think you can sit up there. Yeah, so I deal with places that are not in the most desirable locations. The reason being is the funding's easier to get for when they set these contracts up, because it becomes a regeneration. So when you're in places like Hounslow or where else is quite Elephant and Castle area, you get approached by drug addicts at 10 o'clock in the morning, still high from yesterday. Oh, another good one would be Waldron area. So you can see here, this looks like this washes through when we get heavy rains and goes through. Looks like an old channel for the waterway. And it's good having all this stuff on your doorstep. I'll have a look down there, then we're going to go up there. See, I'm getting bothered by the flies. That means there's probably some dog crap somewhere. But nice, quiet, therapeutic area. All the pine cones and second-rate graffiti. But it's these sort of things that I love La Matta for. It's the quiet piece, because I get enough headaches in the UK. So when I come here, get in the car, straight down the N332, back in the house, and this is it. Just chilled out. The most annoying thing you get is people beeping with, for example, people parking in the bus stop. The bus can't get to the bus stop, so then they're beeping the bus because they can't get past. But I will say, that's more likely the people from the cities on holiday than La Matta locals. So I find La Matta locals generally couldn't care less. There's a nice little house hiding between the rest of them, isn't it? I think that's the one that must have the main gate on the road the other side. It's a fairly big complex by the looks of that. Yeah, because it's a bit like going into the post office here. If the old lady wanting to pick up her pension or whatever she's doing in there bumps into the guy at the post office, they'll update each other on their arthritis and whatever else. But that's the whole point of living here, is that pace of life of not giving a damn. It's just taking it easy, enjoying what you've got. Getting away from all the headaches. Because even in Spain, there's a lot of politics going on at the minute, but on the coast, not too much of a problem. Because for a start, there's no point sending people here. There's no jobs for most of them. There's not enough jobs for the guys that actually live here, who are born here. So there's no point sending other people here. I mean, enough Brits arrive hoping for dreams of making it here, and a lot of them don't make it. Now, I will say, from living here, the internet's good, but when all these people arrive for their holidays, I assume the pipes get congested, in the sense of everybody's online, and the population's probably 10 to 100-fold of what's normally here. So everything becomes saturated. So during the peak seasons, you know, just to take it easy. Same as the construction guys know, this time of year, they're flat out. Look, I can hear that music already. It's even behind the gym. So I can't walk that way because we're going to have some Spanish music blasting in the background. So I'll walk down here and head the other way. It must be that bar. Doesn't entice me in, that's for sure. A lovely little yacht going past. But it's nice living here. I mean, there's one of the, they call them, what's it, cully men? Lucky men, that's what they call it. You know, the guys that wander along the beach with the sunglasses and stuff. I'm not particularly bothered about those types of people because they're trying to make a living. And the same way, there's a Chinese woman that does massages along the beach. I haven't had a massage before anybody asks. But I don't mind people trying to make a living, really don't. But the point is, having 20 guys doing that compared to 1,000 does make a big difference. Anyway, off the politics. Can't be bothered with it these days. Everyone seems to be moaning about something. So this is it. This is La Mata life. You can go out in the afternoon and get a lovely walk. This smart guy decided to wear a black t-shirt, so got some lovely sweat running down my back at the minute. Now, if you prefer me doing more videos like this, please put in the comments, do more videos like this, because I'll quite happily do it. Because the reality is, when I'm here, I'm normally trying to chill out and relax, because I've had a few headaches at work lately. But I am starting to change my way of working, way of thinking as well. Oh look, steel's coming through that. See, all this is when they lay the concrete, they put like a rubber mat over it, and that's where it looks like blocks. But as you can see, it is actually concrete. But as you can see, the amount of traffic this gets, it's starting to wear down a bit. Piensa en los demás. Oh, is that about the dog poo for the people with the wheelchairs? I'm not sure what it means, but okay. Answers in the comments, please. Otherwise, I have to ask April. But yeah, living here, I find it a lot cheaper than the UK. Don't get me wrong, I've got the exchange rate to my advantage, but the bills here, like the council tax, pretty much non-existent. Is a few hundred a year type money. You get a lot for your services, so you get a lot of the waste is collected. You got all this in the doorstep because you're in a tourist spot. The police have got a strong presence in the area. The infrastructure is good with the N332, and then you've got the airport near Murcia and the airport up near Alicante. So you've got two international airports on the doorstep. You got the bus straight out of the Alicante airport all the way down to Torrevieja, where you can then get a bus up or a taxi up or whatever quite easily. The bus service is good in La Mata. To get from La Mata to Torrevieja, which is just down there, I think is €1.25. The food's generally good. I do think the restaurant prices are getting a bit high, but this all ties in when you start introducing minimum wage, the fact that prices have shot up, and we've had an increase in population right across Europe, all increases demand. But it's still cheaper than the UK. UK is heavily populated. We love taxing for everything. I find in Spain they do have a bit of a pushback on stuff that's not accommodating for the locals. I do find here that I think cars are a bit more expensive to purchase, and mechanics can be a bit hit and miss. But at the same time, I bought a brand new Ego Toyota. It's a little friendly little guy, and that's just been to Madrid and back, no problems. Find in Madrid, you soon run up some taxi bills if you're using the taxis. The underground didn't seem to have any aircon on it, but it was easy to get around on the metro system, so plus and minuses. When I go into London, they normally got the windows open so you can get all that lovely asbestos dust off the brakes in the underground. But the point being is, I generally just love living in Spain. It does have its problems like anywhere else, but I do find people are a bit more approachable than the UK sometimes. I mean, dealing with the guard here and stuff, it's they seem a bit more, I mean, I find it, I find them a bit more easygoing than dealing with people in the UK. Because the UK seems to be more rigid on everything and just seems obsessed with taking money off us at every point. Here in Spain, I don't find it's that way orientated. I still think there's a lot of family connection, there's a lot of community. But that's from my perspective. I do stress that because when I'm here as part of a family unit. When I'm in the UK, I'm there on my own for work. So there is a dynamic there that I'm not engaged with, like say the kids' school, and then meeting about 300 parents that own everything from the real estate agent to the bakers to whatever. Well, you'll be lucky in the UK these days because everything's owned by the supermarkets. But here, we know Elvira from the greengrocers, and her husband's got the farm that provides the foods for their store. April knows the guy that owns the sports shop in La Mata. There's a little sports shop in there. Jesus, or Jesus, is the fishmonger. We know the butcher. April knows nearly everybody in the restaurants. And then our neighbour Madalena and Pepe know everybody for about 25 miles in any direction, because Pepe used to deliver tobacco in the area. So any restaurant has probably had Pepe delivering them cigarettes for 25 years before he retired. But even in his retirement, he's still out fixing the tobacco machines for the bars, because he can't sit at home doing nothing. Which is pretty much like me. That looks like, I know it isn't, but I thought it was. It looked like olives, but I don't think it is. Some nice bamboo down there. It's looking a bit dry. The other thing is here, things aren't changing so rapidly because quite simply, a lot of these homes, like our neighbour, it's been the same owner since the 80s. I mean, she's recently passed away, but she was, what, I think 86, 88? But our cluster around there, I think at least 2 to 4, originally I think was 6 or 8, were all properties owned by the same family, you know, different brothers, sisters and whatever. So a lot of this doesn't suddenly just develop overnight because the same people are still coming here and they have been since the 80s. Which is nice because it means you're not constantly in a construction site. But also, there's nowhere else to build new properties. You're going to have to buy one of these and knock them down. But the other side of that is you're not buying one property, you're buying 2 because these are duplexes. That's quite a nice development over there as well. It's a nice swimming pool area over there. I wouldn't mind owning a property in there, to be fair. I can sneak over there when it's rented out, just using the pool. This looks quite a nice house. It's quite big. That's maybe 2 properties. See, they've added this fence. There's some mix. See there, you've got some tiny little ones. See the small, like terraced. So there is properties to sort of suit all people. I wouldn't say all budgets. There was some suiting all budgets before. I remember seeing like the bed sits here, which had their own bathroom. You just had like the sitting bedroom. These birds are following me about, I think now. I know what these guys are. These are the ones that, when you're at the restaurant, these guys will come in near enough eat out your hand because they you give them little bits of crumbs and stuff. They love it. Look at him, give me a look. They love it, they do. I lost my chain of thought. Yeah, some properties when they first come out here were about 19,000. That's euros, not pounds. They're not 19,000 anymore. I've seen some of the properties double in price in the last 5 years. Now, should we walk along the beach front or go a little bit internal? You know what, let's walk along the internal side because I think there's been some bar and restaurant changes. So these are quite good in the sense of if you just want to get sun cooked, each one of them's got a roofed terrace, which means you can go up there and just sunbathe on your roof. I tell you now, it doesn't take long to cook in this heat. This is interesting, it's a bit more, looks a bit more Arabic style. Bit of privacy with ventilation. Gotta take my hat off again. Getting a sweat on. See me work up puddles in my head. Oh, Hostel Alba restaurants. Parking exclusive. So we're on to come to La Mata. This is our, I'd say our primary location for stopovers and probably one of the cheaper locations. I don't mean that in a negative way, I mean literally just on price. Because let's face it, you got the accommodation there, which I assume these ones here, and then the restaurant's on the front. So if you don't want to do much, you don't have to walk very far. And this is where they've started doing new developments by knocking down the old properties. A bit compact and bourgeois and a lot of money. But for me, not knocking it, because it does help put the price up on my property. But I'd rather keep them lower when I'm buying. But they're nicely designed. Yeah, this is our bin collection, by the way. You don't get the bin man at your house. They go in here, then early in the morning, probably about 6 o'clock in the morning. He comes with a truck and it just lifts them up, dumps the crap in the back of his truck, and away he goes. Which is why the waste management is pretty good in this area. Oh, look at all those trees and bushes. I love that. That's me. That's me. That's me. I love plants. Oh, this one. Look at this one. Oh, this one's been built well. They put the garages underneath. This one's a bit of a conundrum. Maybe somebody else can tell me what it is. That's creative space. Arlandina.com. Arlandina. I'll have to remember that. Can somebody put that in the comments so I can look it up? And this one as well. I'll be interested to see it, because that sign looks new, because I'll drive past it regular and wonder what it was, because the pictures in the windows up there, I think that would be a great way of keeping burglars out. Now, I don't mean to knock it if it's artwork, but you know, you see something that doesn't seem usual on a house, it may put somebody off. This one looks quite nice, but I do find it's a bit compact and the prices on these are excessive. I think the properties up this end are 400,000 to 900,000 euros for some of these. You'll have to check with the real estate agents. Whew. This place has been shut since, I believe, the 80s or 90s. There used to be, what I'm told, there used to be a